Hello. I am just coming back to it. So you will see I kind of had some technical issues and the live was dropped. So I did have Shelby on and he had asked me a question. I'm going to continue answering his question. And I'll just see as he comes back on. In the replay, I am just going to put this as two different pieces, so you can see the first part of the live, and then you can see the second part of the live. So that will be good. Okay, well, you know what is interesting is that going live not only takes a lot of courage because you need to come up here and do the readings and connect with people, and then you're dealing with technical situations. You just have to roll with it. You just have to kind of figure out what's going on. And I knew from last time when it buffered that it cut it out, so I had 40 minutes of a live and it only had actually recorded 6. So just kind of figuring that out. And it looks like I have someone back. So that is great. So glad you're here and working with me as I am figuring out my technology. So I was doing this reading for Shelby, and Shelby's question was around school. Oh, he's back. Oh yeah, and he's at upcoming time in school. And so Shelby, were you able to hear some of my reading, or do you want me to start from the beginning? Let me know. And if not, I'll just kind of start. So for Shelby, what I had done is I had pulled 3 cards. I had the 6 of Swords in protection, the Star in protection, and the 9 of Cups in protection. And for some people, just like I started with the idea of spirit guides and your claircognizance and how we connect to our intuition and to our spirit teams. Okay, so Shelby, I'm going to start that then. I'll start right from the beginning. Just like we do that all uniquely, when you read cards, you can also choose to read reversals in whichever way you read them, because it becomes a language between you and the tarot, you and my spirit team, me and the divine, universe, spirit, however you like to name it. So that's where I look at it. So for me, I know that this card was picked out of that deck. Out of all of these cards, I have these 3 that were picked. So I believe that this energy is here. This energy is part of this reading. And now I need to think about, how is this energy moving? Is it coming in? Is it going out? Is it blocked? So that's what I look at. And all 3 were in reverse. So for me, it means that your question, Shelby, about how is school, is that school is not yet there. So this is something that is going to be happening and something that you're going to be moving through. And the first one is the 6 of Swords. And the 6 of Swords is the suit of air. It's the suit of our thinking, and it's the suit of communication. And this card is really about being in the darkness and being pulled. This boat is being pulled into the light, towards the light. So for you, going to school at this time is really about moving out of some darkness, whatever that means to you. Maybe you've been stuck. Maybe school offers you a way forward as you learn another skill, as you learn something else. That's what school, for me, school has always been an opportunity to expand my mind, expand my knowledge and my skills, make new connections. And so the 6 of Swords for me is really that piece. And it gives you more possibilities. I find whenever you go to school, you have an opportunity to learn again and recognize different parts of your life, because you meet these new people that aren't in your everyday living. And all of a sudden in school, in your classroom, you meet different people of different walks of life. And they're almost like sparks that bring you into a different place. The next one is the star card. And this is my most favorite card of the deck. I love it. This is a major arcana, so it's in the hero's journey. And it has significance. This star is like about wishing on a star. It's that energy of that hope, believing things can happen and connecting to it. It's about manifestation. And that's what comes in. So as you go into school, it's a different place. And all of a sudden, you can see possibilities open up. And you can imagine yourself, if you ever sat laying on the grass and you've just been thinking about what could happen, like the universe is so vast and so many things can just expand, and you can explore so much and you can go so far. It just makes you feel expansive. And the star card for me is exactly like that. So as you're moving into the light, it's really encouraging you to keep hope, keep working, start dreaming, start thinking about what it is you can be, you can do. Where do you want to go? And the sky, literally, is the limit. Because this card also speaks about feeding hope, possibility, and that positive energy of the future. And there's a parable that talks about which wolf do you feed, or which dragon do you feed? Do you feed the dragon that is thinking about scarcity, fear, worry, I can't do this, I'm not sure? Or do you feed the dragon that is, I can do this. I'm going to take one step at a time. This is going to work well for me. And after I'm done this, I can move into what I need to do. So whatever dragon you feed gets bigger. So if you feed the one of fear and scarcity and worry and negative thinking, that's what's going to be happening in your life. And so you have some choices to move into this light. You have some choices to lean in and feed the dragon of hope, possibilities. And as you go to school, really look at what could happen for you. What are the new connections? What is the new understanding? What is a new aha that brings you to a complete different level? And then it opens up the 9 of Cups, which is really a card of abundance. So Cups is water. It's a suit of relationships, intuition. And this card is about abundance. And you can see 9 full cups. She's just jumping. It's happened. It's working. Yay. Everything is going well. And so for you, for school, this is everything is going well. You have so many possibilities, and lean into it. There is choice though. And that's when that energy is coming in. What is the choice you want to make, and how do you want to make it? So you have to really be cognizant of the energy you're putting towards it. I'm going to pull 2 cards. One of them is an animal spirit, and what do you need to surrender to? In animal spirit, brown bear spirit, take a time out. So when I lean into that, take a time out is about recognizing that school is going to be difficult. And you're going to have to make sure that you take a time out from your regular everyday living and honor the school that you're going to, honor the work, honor that time, and be cognizant of overwhelming yourself. So if you're trying to keep up all the same commitments that you did before, and you're trying to have a full-time job while you're going to school, while you're with all of your people. So you have to take time out in order to be successful in school. So I see it as marking time specifically to help you. So be cognizant of time. Scheduling your time comes in, and prioritizing your time comes in, because school needs your attention and it has so many possibilities in your life. You want to take it seriously. And I don't know about you, but for me, it's expensive. So when I had to pay for school, I had to then say, okay, this time, my time is money, and I need to really honor that and be focused on that. This is Judith Orloff's cards. They're all surrender cards. That's what it is. Every one of them is surrender. So for your success, what do you need to surrender into? Interesting. Surrender your fear of change. And it ties in with the timeout and how I'm reading the timeout. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always. Whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, relationship, or going back to school, you might be scared. Or if you fear aging or death, repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. It's the star card. So it's recognizing that as you start something new, going to school is going to be something new for you. And that's where that fear, anxiety, and some people deal with fear and anxiety. I just looked just recently. I needed to do a eulogy, and I was really worried about it. I was worried about writing it, and I was worried about reading it, and would it do justice? And I have to be very careful, because what I do when I have fear and anxiety is, in a negative cycle, I numb myself. So I started watching Survivor episodes, and there are 49 of them. I'm going to tell you that this was staying up till like 4 a.m. Yep, that was me. I was doing crazy things like that. And then I stopped, and I had to stop myself. And I had to recognize that this was about fear, and I had to sit in my fear and honor that feeling of fear and say, yes, you know what, Michelle, you are scared. This is difficult. This is challenging, and you can do it. And you can write this eulogy, and you can read it, and you can do it justice. So be present in it. Don't avoid it. So really watch, Shelby, how you're dealing with that fear. So taking that time out from some of the other things you do. I hope that helped you. I'm here every Wednesday. So subscribe and set this on your calendar, and know that you can come in and ask me a question. If you can't do it live, you can send me an email at leadwithyoursoulpodcast@gmail.com. You can also just send me a DM at michellewright.co at my Instagram, and I will do the reading for you. So I hope that was helpful for you. I had another reading that came in for another client that was interested in knowing what. Oh, thank you, Shelby. It was very helpful. And another client was just wondering about, I'm just going to look at my DMs so that I say it correctly. They were just wondering about what they can do to move forward in their life in retirement. So they have a big life transition. Retirement is happening for them. And what does that look like for them? How do they need to move forward? What are some of the important pieces? And if you're just popping on, I invite you. You can ask a question. I'm doing readings live for the next about 10, 15 minutes, and then I will pop on. So you can put it in the chat. I'm going to be doing readings every Wednesday morning. And if you can't be here live, you can also go and just send me a DM on Instagram, and I can do a reading. So this is now a reading about retirement. And this is for JW. So for your retirement, you need to know, what do you need to release? That was the question. What do you need to release in retirement? Okay. I'm going to be using the Light Seer Tarot deck again. I really enjoy that one. And I'm going to use, okay, so I'm just pulling these cards. Very interesting. So, okay. And now I'm going to also use, this is the Tao Oracle deck. And the Tao Oracle deck, I really enjoy it. It's based on the I Ching. And this Oracle creator, they did paintings, and they took, the I Ching is a Chinese divination system. And they took those elements, the main tenets of that, and they created artwork and then cards that went with it. I love this one because it really talks about change, and that's often important in a reading, in transformation. So the first thing is death and rebirth. So this is a major arcana card, and it's important to recognize that this is exactly what's happening in death and rebirth. Not that you're dying. Death and rebirth is an analogy, meaning that there's pieces in your life that are changing. And what that means is, as you retire, you have to recognize what is going, what is not going to serve you. And that also takes time. So this isn't something, there's a tower card that is also there. So there's a tower card that comes and it's just very quick and it's something that's sudden and happens. Here, this is about pruning away what no longer serves you in your life. Pruning away what isn't going to get you where you want to go. Another piece about rebirth that I found even for myself in all of my transitions is you need to begin to dream, because where are you moving? We know where we were. And in order for us to move out of the past and not stay anchored and tied to the past, we need to start dreaming of a future. And you might not know what that future is yet. And so you need to, I say you have a dream box. And you can either have it where you're writing down your ideas. Maybe it's even on your phone. You're going to write down different ideas on your phone. You're going to kind of figure out, where do I possibly want to go? What is it that's calling me in retirement? Is it other forms of service? Is it volunteer work? Is it another type of job? Is it a hobby? Is it being with family? There is no right or wrong. It is about dreaming. And as you're continuing to move down those, you're going to feel the resonance when you're hitting it. You're going to feel, yep, yeah, this is what I want to do. Or you're going to feel almost a denseness. And it's like, right now, and I say the right now, that's not what I want to do. But it's being future focused so that you can enjoy the past, love the past, but not be anchored to it. You have to release the past and move forward. That's that death part. Release it and move forward to something else. The Three of Swords in protection. So this energy continues to be, and Three of Swords, swords is about our thinking. And this card is about deep heartbreak, deep anguish. And it is receding. So in this protection, I see the energy going, but it is recognizing there is grief in retirement. There is grief in understanding who you were as this person in whatever you did, in the position you did. And we often work for years, decades of our life, and decades of our life are focused on daily moving towards it, focused on daily and monthly and yearly evolving into it. And so now in retirement, you have grief that it's not there, because what is replacing it? And that's the challenge in retirement, is that you're in that transitional stage. You're in that piece of transition. So honor your grief. And that's why I say it's not fast. It's not quick. And even if it is, honor your grief. Honor honor that as much as you always wanted retirement. I know this is for me. As much as I always wanted retirement, I wanted to be in charge of my own life, I wanted to do all of that. There's a certain amount of ease in the structure and the linear approach to a life when you're working in career. You know what you're doing every single day. Oh, here are my holidays. They're at this time. They're at this time. And now all of a sudden you don't have that. And there is grief in that. And so take time to grieve, take time to hold your heart and just say, I loved that piece. And it doesn't mean that you don't love retirement if you honor what has been. And that's an important piece, is really being present with those feelings when they're there. Don't try to push them down. Don't try to ignore them. And sometimes it's helpful if you talk to other retired people. And I'm just going to be honest, because when I've talked to people who are not retired and I talk about the struggles of retirement, they often will look at you like, are you crazy? Because you're retired. It's what we all work for our entire lives. And I agree with that 100%. But there is grief in retirement. There is challenge in retirement, in restructuring how we do that. So connect with other retired people, find out what they did. So first, you're going to be present and be present with these feelings. The next piece is the 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands is in protection as well. And you, in here, this is the ending. It's the ending. It's the last stand. And in protection, it is also going, meaning that you don't have to be vigilant. And so now in retirement, you have to allow your nervous system to relax. Especially in North America, I can tell you, we are going, and it's like, okay, produce. We are human doings, not human beings. And you go up to people, they say, well, what do you do? And what's your job? What's this? So now all of a sudden you're not in that. And how do you move through that for yourself? How do you allow yourself to be less vigilant and take care of a nervous system that is firing like do? So you might find that actually you don't sleep as well at first because your mind and your nervous system is actually detoxifying, is what it's doing. It's just releasing. And so it's leaning into that and recognizing that you're moving into a different part of your life. And that's where, for me, having my dream box was so important, because my dream box allowed me, instead of to be tied to the past and to feel always grief and what I didn't have, it allowed me to start dreaming of a future. My husband and I, one of the things we did was we took down the globe and we said, let's just dream. Where do we want to go? What do we want to do? And we just started making a list and prioritizing all the different things. Are we going to get there in our lives? No, I can tell you we will not make that list. But we started dreaming, and that's what that is about. Now, interestingly enough, arousing. So when I said the Tower card, this is the Tower card. This is about shock, crisis, upheaval, dramatic power shifts, a shakeup that's a wake up. So even though the Death and Rebirth card is slow, I'm just leaning into it. The shock, I see these two connected. The shock is real because all of a sudden, that very next day, you don't go to work. Like, it's just, how do you prepare for that? How do you prepare for that loss? I just lost someone very close to me, and their absence is grief. And that's what I see. So for you in retirement, it is recognizing and really dealing with the grief, really dealing with that piece of yourself that loved what you did. And it is shocking to be in this new. So how do you deal with that? And this is the nervous system. This is the grief. That's what I'm getting in. So it didn't necessarily happen slowly. I mean, quickly, because that death rebirth is a slow piece. In the Surrender Judith Orloff's card, surrender to negative thinking. So in this extra time where you find yourself in shock because now you're retired and you're not going to work and you don't have all these dreams and all these expectations, which we work for in our whole lives. But when you're actually there, all of a sudden, you can spiral down into negative thinking. And this is talking about having control over your thoughts. For Shelby, I talked about who are you feeding? So that parable of which dragon, which wolf are you feeding? Are you feeding the wolf of fear, anxiety, and worry? So are you thinking about the past and what was and what you used to do and what used to happen? Or are you feeding the future? Are you feeding the one where it's dreams, manifestations, the possibilities, what can come? And starting to dream into those possibilities. And it's recognizing, and so when I see this, it's first of all, recognizing the challenge of retirement and that it's not easy. And as much as when you're in it, your identity completely changes. Who you are completely changes. And so, who are you in this? And to really, if you're going to look back on your life and you're going to look back on your work, look back on that, really getting the pearls of wisdom from it. And that's what I often say, the pearls of wisdom. This is what getting to different points of our life is about. It's not ignoring our past and saying, okay, it happened, but how can I move forward? Just understanding and learning from my past that can guide me forward in positive ways into what I want to do. So, what are the pieces of your past that you do want to thread forward? What are the pieces of your past and who you are that you want to lean into as you move into retirement? And then you're going to honor with deep compassion, deep self love, your grief in change because it's hard, it's different, and your nervous system needs some time to heal and just release. I'm getting this sense of like, you hold your muscles tight and it's about releasing and allowing yourself to release. And as you release, you're going to know and understand and be shown different ways that you can move forward. And like any point in your life, an important piece that I am learning and have learned, there's not one right way to move forward. We have many ways we can choose to move forward in this life, just like we did when we were 20, just like we did when we were 30, 40, 50, 60. We can continue to move forward into retirement exactly as you want. I know my dad, for him, what retirement looked like was he had different jobs. All of a sudden, he was a baker and he had a store that he was tied to. So it was very difficult for him to leave. And all of a sudden he said, I'm going to go milk cows. So he milked cows for 4 months. Then he went and he did construction for 4 months. And in between that, they traveled. And he just had little different jobs that he loved doing. Why? Because he loved working. He loved doing that and connecting with people. My mom, on the other hand, was very different. She didn't want any of that, and she did something completely different. There's no right or wrong. And that's why I say for you, allow your nervous system to relax and then start dreaming. There's no one right way. And as you go down that path, it's not like you're stuck. You can back up and go down another path and explore that one. Then you can back up, go down another path. That is the joy that you have right now. And so just lean into it and relax. Well, Thank you so much. If you've come back because I had my technical issue, really appreciate that. I'm going to be here every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you have a question, you can come on live just like Shelby did, and you can ask me your question, and you can come every week. If you aren't able to come, what you can do is you can send me an email. You can also send me a DM on my Instagram at michellewright.co on Instagram, and I'll just carry that over and bring it here just like I did for JW, and just did a reading that way. And that person can come back and they can read and they can listen to the recording of this live, and they'll get their reading. I've enjoyed being here today, and I enjoy doing this work. I enjoy sharing my insights and my teachings and reading for you. Have a wonderful and blessed day.